Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Senate Marshal Thomas Grodzki took part in the 73rd plenary session of the Nordic Council in Denmark. In an interview with Danish media, he said that in Poland he fights against an authoritarian regime, which in the Senate can be stung. He also made serious accusations relating to last year's presidential elections.
One of the most important people in the country tells fairy tales abroad, simply lies. This is another statement by Tomasz Grodzki, Marshal of the Senate, which has aroused serious emotions. In an interview with the Danish internet portal, he made accusations against the Polish government, stating that, among other things, Poland under the rule of the Law and Justice Party is an authoritarian regime. Law and justice is not Poland, and Poland is not only law and justice. I myself am living proof of this. Yes, we are fighting an authoritarian regime. In the Senate we have the majority, so they are afraid of us and we can sting them. And this Senate majority is used by Marshal Grodzki to prevent the scenario in which he will be brought to trial. He will hear allegations related to his corruption scandal only after his immunity is lifted. He is blocking the prosecutor's motion to bring him to justice. And that is the cause of Marshal Grodzki's apprehensiveness. Mr. Grodzki did not have absolutely no evidence to confirm these theses that he presented to the Danish media. This is behaviour which at times makes it seem like Mr. Grodzki has emotional problems.
Które momentami ma się wrażenie, że pan Tomasz Grodzki ma jakieś problemy emocjonalne.
He also undermined the fair conduct of the democratic election of the head of state. Last year's presidential elections were probably free elections, but not equal and fair elections. Many of the votes cast from abroad have apparently disappeared without trace, so we do not know the real result of the presidential election. This helplessness and these lies truly shock. It is difficult to comment on this because, for me, if such statements are made, and they are made in a public forum, I consider them clearly as treason. While Tomasz Grodzki is questioning the result of last year's presidential elections and accusing the ruling party of unfairly conducting them, commentators point to the envelope scandal that he was involved in. It's quite funny that Grodzki appeared as a defender of the rule of law. I would like to remind the Marshal that it is the Marshal who is blocking his own case regarding immunity, and in fact today the Marshal is afraid of what the prosecutor's office and the media, including the Independent and Gazeta Polska, have decided.
Media, również portal niezależna.pl i Gazeta Polska.
The problem with Mr. Grodzki is that he is not a serious man, but is in a serious position. Grodzki claims, however, that the victory of the Law and Justice Party in the next elections would mean the domination of darkness over Poland. The government of the United Right has been in power for 6 to 7 years. Is it clear? I think so. Marshal Grodzki allegedly accepted bribes for medical care, expediting operations or even carrying them out personally. According to witness testimonies, Tomasz Grodzki supposedly accepted envelopes containing up to 10,000 zloty for saving people's lives.
Yesterday Spain and today Turkey. Turkey's security forces have announced that they have detained 149 Afghan migrants on Thursday in the eastern city of Bitlis, after the country ratcheted up border security measures to avoid a potential influx from Afghanistan via Iran.
One person was arrested by the local courthouse on suspicion of smuggling migrants inside a truck trailer. The local governorate said that the migrants were later brought to the repatriation centre in the eastern province of Van, located at the country's border with Iran. Turkey enhanced its security measures after the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan in August. A modular concrete wall is being built on Turkey's 295-kilometre-long border with Iran as part of efforts to stop illegal crossings. Turkey already hosts more than 4 million refugees, the vast majority from Syria, and is the world's leading refugee host.
British negotiator David Frost said the United Kingdom would not trigger Article 16 of the Brexit agreement today as he entered talks with the EU on the issue of trade across the Northern Irish border, but said a significant gap remained between the two sides.
Article 16 allows for unilateral action if the Northern Ireland Protocol, which governs post-Brexit trade with the European Union, is deemed to be having a negative impact. Speaking in Brussels ahead of a meeting with European Commission Vice President Maros Šefčovič, Frost said that Article 16 remains very much on the table.
We hope to make some progress, but honestly the gap between us is still quite significant. But let's see where we can get to.
Will you trigger Article 16 today, Lord Frost?
We're not going to trigger Article 16 today, but Article 16 is very much on the table and has been since July.
Is that likelihood increasing, do you think? Is it becoming a closer prospect?
Well, time is running out on these talks. If we're to make progress, we need to make progress soon, and our preference is to make progress and see if we can reach an agreement.
Difficulties in sending some goods to Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom yet remains within the EU customs union, have prompted London to repeatedly call for widespread changes to the protocol and threaten to trigger safeguard measures in the deal if the European Union fails to agree to an overhaul. The European Commission last month offered Britain a package of measures it said could halve customs paperwork, cut checks on meat, dairy and other British food products by 80% and ensure the undisturbed flow of medicines. London has said the proposals do not go far enough.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Crimea would remain a part of Russia indefinitely. He made his remarks while visiting a newly opened monument in Sevastopol, the capital of the peninsula, for National Unity Day celebrations.
Putin arrived in Sevastopol on National Unity Day, which Russia celebrates on the 4th of November. He laid flowers at the memorial dedicated to the end of the civil war in Sevastopol. During the ceremony, Vladimir Putin gave assurances that the territories of Crimea and Sevastopol would remain with Russia forever, since it was the choice of the people. Russia has found its historical unity, an alive, unbroken link again. You especially feel it here in Sevastopol, in Crimea. They are with Russia forever because it is the sovereign, free and determined will of all our people. In addition to events timed to coincide with the holiday, Putin will take part in the session of the Supreme State Council of the Union State of Russia and Belarus. Russia seized the mainly Russian-speaking Crimea from Ukraine on the 16th of March 2014 after a referendum that Kiev and its Western allies say was illegal. The annexation unleashed a wave of patriotic euphoria in Russia and Crimea, but Western governments condemned the move as an illegal annexation.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.